This week on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to win a national title. So beating guys during the season is cool, and it lets you know, like, I'm in the right spot.
We learn a lot together. We have really good games, and I think this spring season is going to be a really good one for us.
Hail to Pitt. I mean, everything that we do is for the University of Pittsburgh.
And it's really cool to be able to be a part of that family.
All this and more on this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.
It starts as a game, a gathering of friends. And slowly, as some begin to sit back, others stand out. The joy of playing turns to passion. And as the skills develop, so do the minds. And they begin to seek challenges, peers, and mentors to further their abilities and opportunities. The love and passion becomes a thirst for people in a place
we're going to show everybody else in the country who we are.
That will embrace and push a hunger for excellence.
Blitz, the ACC.
And to be in and among champions. These are the dreamers, scholars, leaders. These are the guides, teachers, mentors. And this is the opportunity, the challenge, the place. This is Pitt Beyond the Script.
Jake Wetzel is like the hardest dude in the world to wrestle because his wrestling IQ is through the roof.
Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script. We are joined by Jake Wetzel of the Pitt wrestling team. Really happy to have you here. Jake is a local guy from South Park. First of all, let me take you back to your high school days before we talk about Pitt. You obviously won 3 Whippeal titles, 2 state championships. When did you know that you really loved wrestling? When did you kind of get the wrestling bug?
I was born into the sport, really. My dad was a wrestling coach. My uncles wrestled. My brothers wrestled. It was really, I didn't have a choice. My dad would take me to his wrestling practices in my little car carrier and just sit me on the mat. So it was more of growing up. I didn't know anything different. It was just kind of expected.
What was it like to win a WPIAL championship? Because obviously, you know, you did it as a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken, the first time. And this is a great wrestling area.
It was exciting. It's sad not to get the 4-time. That's what everybody strives for, is to be a 4-time Whippeal champ, but I'll take what I got with 3. That was a big deal, but also I was having a really good year that year, so I had higher goals, so it wasn't just about winning Whippeals, but I wasn't able to attain the state title that year, so a little bittersweet moment.
Well, you did it twice, and you did it in undefeated fashion your senior year. It did not lose a match. What is it like going to states? What is that atmosphere like for a wrestler?
It's awesome. Coming from a small AA school, you'll never really experience that until you get to states. I don't think I ever competed in front of a crowd bigger than just a gym full of people. So after the first year as a freshman, it was eye-opening seeing that many people that actually cared about AA wrestling. Normally it's more just AAA. And there is a big drop-off between fans, but it was just an eye-opening experience, and just getting to wrestle in front of that many people is a cool experience.
Nice takedown for Wetzel at the end of the first period, and this is going to be big, finishing this period on top.
Boy, good, strong finish to the period for Wetzel.
How'd you wind up choosing Pitt?
Again, that one wasn't really a choice. So my high school wrestling coach, Tyler Nauman, was a 2-time All-American at Pitt. I came here every Sunday, wrestled at the Pitt Wrestling Club. I'd come up after my high school practice and roll around with the coaches, some of the guys that needed to get off weight. So I actually committed to Pittsburgh before my junior season even started.
So you've been a Panther a long time, really.
Yeah.
You recently beat #1 wrestler in your weight class in the NCAA's, the 2019 champion, Kai Lewis from Virginia Tech. What was that experience like?
Test that flexibility even more. Are you kidding me? How will this end up? Above the head, back trip.
Jake Wetzel is really going at the national champion here.
I kind of got robbed of the experience watching the match. It ended up ending in an injury default. I was up essentially 4-0 going into that, controlling the match. So in my mind, I got robbed of the experience of beating, quote unquote, the #1 guy. but I'll get a chance to do it again in 2 weeks, so it'll be better then.
You've beaten some other top wrestlers this year. So, I mean, you've obviously are building towards the ACC tournament and towards the NCAAs.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to win a national title. So beating guys during the season is cool, and it lets you know, like, I'm in the right spot, or if you lose, I got to get better at this, I got to do that. But the ultimate goal is March 18th through 20th. So up until then, nothing really matters. You see guys go into the tournament with a losing record, and they show up in All-American. So it's really about how you perform for those 3 days. That's the biggest part of this sport.
The energy at a wrestling event is incredible. I mean, from the crowd, it feels to me like the wrestlers feed off that crowd. What has it been like, assuming that you're wrestling in front of much smaller crowds and much smaller groups of people than you have in the past?
It takes a lot of pressure away. It makes it more about wrestling, so that's a positive. It is cool going out there and performing in front of crowds, but for the most part, dual meets, depending on who you wrestle, dual meets don't really get too crazy, but I think where it will really show is at tournaments, the ACC and the national tournament, not having fans, that'll be the big factor.
How important is it to you to defend your ACC title?
Like I said earlier, it's all about March 18th to 20th, so.
You're looking forward to St. Louis.
As long as I get there, ACCs means nothing to me.
And you are going to come back, you think, for one more year because of the special circumstances of this season?
Yeah, I'm staying here until they get rid of me.
And majoring in economics and accounting?
I'm getting my master's in accounting right now.
And the future for you is what?
I guess I gotta find another master's degree.
Good stuff. And congratulations on your ACC championship. Good luck defending it, and good luck in the NCAAs as well.
Thank you.
Jake Wetzel, thanks very much. Stick around. We still have more to come when we resume here on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Riding time point, and your ACC champion from Pitt is Jake Wetzel.
Jeff Capel Show here on the Pitt Panthers radio network.
We wanted just to try to work on us.
Gonna take it all the way for this. Johnson detonates.
I honestly put in a lot of mental work.
Their love of basketball.
Basketball is really my vehicle.
The cut by Tony.
I really appreciate, Pitt.
Jeff was trying to make sure you were entertained.
The Jeff Capel Radio Show, Fridays at 4 p.m. on AT&T Sportsnet.
We got to be smart. We have to have poise.
Hail to Pitt. I mean, everything that we do is for the University of Pittsburgh.
When we say hail to Pitt, I think it's more of a loyalty thing. I think you don't just say it for the sake of it. I think it is, you mean it, and you're happy to be a part of that team.
It's like you have a second family. You don't have to worry about really getting homesick because you have such a big support system.
And it's really cool to be able to be a part of that family. And it makes you feel like a unit.
It's history, it's tradition. It may mean a lot of different things, but at the same time, it means love and loyalty.
It just gives a different meaning behind representing your school. It's kind of saying like, this is me and I am a Pitt Panther and I'm gonna show out for my team and my school.
H2P is just a good feeling and it reminds me of all the memories that I've made since I was here.
We're hailing as a family, we're all as a family, and what we do together, we do as a family.
Recognize these colors we're wearing. Understand, this is what Pittsburgh's built on. Everybody in this city understands. If you're from Pittsburgh, you know what those colors mean.
To me, it's like I'm a part of something, like a culture. Well, I know when I go places and I have a Pitt shirt on, people scream at me H2P, and I yell it right back.
You connect with people you don't even know. You just say H2P. There you go.
You can feel the energy in the city. You can feel the passion. and you can feel the pride that people have being from Pittsburgh.
The city's very energetic, it's very bright. You guys gotta love it. You know, there's just energy, there's life around you, so.
The city combined with the people here is unmatched. You will not find anywhere else in the country like a campus like Pitt.
I feel like it's so alive. It's sports oriented, but it's still like city-ish. It's not boring. There's always things going on.
It's got such a vibe, and and it's such a cool campus to be a part of.
Pitt's great, and there's nothing not to like about Pitt.
I'm sure you all can see why I chose to come to work at a place that expects excellence and delivers it.
We have very high expectations for every kid that walks through the door to be an athlete here. We want to help them grow and mature into fine young men and women.
You're an ambassador to Pitt wherever you go, and I think it's your obligation to respect that and to hold it to the highest wherever you go.
So I think just being here and learning from the best professors is really going to set me up for success.
So when I leave here, I'm going to be grateful because, obviously they're doing so much for me. So after I leave Pitt, I'm going to keep hailing.
I kind of identify through Pitt now. It's become a part of my identity, and I think for the rest of my life, it will be a part of my identity.
The winner of the 2020 Burlsworth Trophy from the University of Pittsburgh, Jimmy Morrissey.
Jimmy, it's been a while since we've talked. You were named the Burlsworth Trophy Award winner. What does that mean to you?
It was a nice, cherry on top of my career, really. So, yeah, I mean, it's great that I was a walk-on. It's one of the most things I'm proud of.
We got a ball. Come on, let's go. Let's get a couple set of quarterbacks. Let's go. Yeah. What you got?
It's just great memories all around playing Pitt football, and then being able to cap it off with winning, such a prestigious award like the Burlsworth Trophy. It's, it's great. It's something I'll have with me, till the day I die. I'll have that trophy. I'm still waiting for it to get sent to me, but it's a magnificent trophy. So I'm ready to have it up in my house when I'm older.
Jimmy, you just competed in the Senior Bowl not too long ago, and it was an interesting experience for you because you got the call, I think the day before around noon, and you were in Pensacola, Florida, and then had to make it to Mobile, Alabama. How was that experience?
I think I got the call at 11:30, and I was at Mobile at 1. And then so I didn't even hesitate. I knew I wanted to play in the game, and even if it was only a day before, I was happy to be invited.
What was it like to be lined up across some of your teammates? I know you're used to it at practice, but it still has to be a little strange during a game experience.
Yeah, it was great. I went against Rashad a lot. So I think my first play was against Weave. And I think Weave said something like, "Oh, Jimmy," or just like saying what's up before the snap. And I didn't say anything. I was like, I gotta be quiet, or I hadn't hit since December 10th. I wanted to set my pads, and then I was able to talk to him after that. But yeah, it was great playing against Weave and Pat. DeMar, I didn't have the chance to block, but he had a great play in the game too. It was a great experience.
You did tweet something out that I thought was amazing. 5 years ago from the Senior Bowl day, you were on a trip at Pitt, actually visiting with some of those same guys. Then you guys took a photo 5 years later at the Senior Bowl. That had to, it comes full circle. That had to be special.
Yeah, how crazy was that? It just happened that DeMar and Weave were there, and Pat had already been enrolled at Pitt. But yeah, it was crazy to see that, and so it was a good memory.
It was nice to see you guys and how young you were until now.
I was hesitant to posting it.
What was special about being a Pitt Panther and being here?
I've been molded, to become the man I am today because of Pitt football and the relationships I've formed through the program. And I'm a Pitt man until the day I die. I love the program, and I always will be. I'll be a super fan now, I guess. I love the university and Coach Narduzzi and the entire football team.
Well, you'll always be a Pitt man to us, and we will see you representing on Pro Day, draft, etc. And we'll have to keep in touch, Jimmy, as you move on in your career and future endeavors.
I'm excited. Thanks, Casey.
Bobby Gary played football for Pitt in the mid-50s and became a symbol for change. Transforming our nation's cultural values is not just a new cause that began recently. In 1956, one of our own was breaking down social obstacles. Bobby Gere was hoping to be the first African American to play in the Sugar Bowl. Pitt was scheduled to take on Georgia Tech, but Georgia's governor at the time urged the school to boycott the game if Gere was permitted to play. The University of Pittsburgh and Gere's teammates vowed not to take part of the game if Gere wasn't permitted to play. And on January 2nd, 1956, Gere broke the color barrier at the Sugar Bowl.
Gere takes a handoff, drives over the middle to the 1 before Morris checks in.
It was a real great feeling, especially to have the school back me like they did and the team back me, and go down and play. And you go out in the stadium and look, and there's 85,000 people there yelling and clapping, and it gives you a great feeling.
A controversial pass interference call on Gere set up the game's only touchdown, as Georgia Tech went on to a 7-0 victory.
Greer takes the handoff from them, breaks over left tackle.
Gere finished as the leading rusher in the game with 51 yards, but more importantly, Pitt football and Bobby Gere were part of a major turning point in the history of American sports.
Jeff Capel Show here on the Pitt Panthers radio network.
We wanted just to try to work on us.
Gonna take it all the way for this. Johnson detonates.
I honestly put in a lot of mental work.
Their love of basketball.
Basketball is really my vehicle.
The cut by Tony.
I really appreciate, Pitt.
Jeff was trying to make sure you were entertained.
The Jeff Capel Radio Show, Fridays at 4 p.m. on AT&T Sportsnet.
We got to be smart. We have to have poise. What? 1, 2, 3,
Together, we've defeated polio, pioneered organ transplantation, and engineered the television.
We've nurtured generations of brave artists and big thinkers.
We've won national and conference championships and given back to our city, our region, and the world.
At Pitt, we've never been afraid to take bold action and forge ahead.
And you, the Pitt community, our community, has always helped to make that possible.
On this Pitt Day of Giving, we're asking you to join us again to conquer yet another challenge.
Like so many other places in the world, life at Pitt across all of our campuses has transformed dramatically in the last 10 months.
But we've worked together, adapted our behaviors, and led by example to keep our Pitt family safe and healthy.
And now we need your help to continue to care for each other while we learn, innovate, grow, and plan for a brighter future. Together, your gifts will fund our scholarships,
strengthen our academic experience,
elevate our world-class research,
empower our student organizations,
drive Pitt athletics forward,
and support the Pitt programs that mean the most to you. On February 23rd, please join me.
Please join me on Pitt Day of Giving.
I'm Katie King, I'm a junior, I'm a marketing and finance major, and this is my Pitt story. Coming into Pitt, I didn't really know where I wanted to go, and so being in the business school, I just tried to get involved with certain organizations, and through that, I learned about the ACC network and Pitt Studios. And so being able to tie in a little bit of my business background to the sports broadcasting field has been great, because I feel like I have kind of a different background and a different understanding of the business of sports. And so that's been a really great opportunity to try and tie those two things together. Hey everyone, welcome to How She Plays, a podcast dedicated to the coverage of women's sports. I'm Katie King, and today we're talking all things Pitt women's basketball. I'm the assistant sports director for WPTS Radio, and that has provided so many wonderful opportunities to try and get on air with sports broadcasting a little bit. I decided to start a podcast called How She Plays, and the staff there has been great in supporting me and helping me to develop this podcast. And it's really just all about sharing the stories of female athletes and coaches here at Pitt. We will be hearing from head coach Lance White as he shares his thoughts on the season and what he hopes to see from his team. One piece of advice that I have for incoming freshmen would definitely be to push yourself and maybe be a little uncomfortable sometimes in making decisions to pursue certain things and try different things, because sometimes the most unexpected things can lead to something great. And so don't ever shy away from trying new things, even if it makes you a little bit scared or a little bit uncomfortable, because you never know where it can lead you. Thanks for listening to this episode of How She Plays. To hear more, head to WPTSradio.org.
We gotta be smart. We have to have poise. What? 1, 2, 3, what?
In many respects, Jackie was given an impossible task. He was inheriting the reins of a team that just won the national championship.
Jackie, some people think that you might not want Pittsburgh to win the game, leave you that pressure of coming back to national champions, but I know you want it. Yeah, very badly.
But what did he do? He cemented Pitt as a national powerhouse over the next 5 years.
His teams were a reflection of his personality, hard-nosed, tough, gritty, confident, and he believed in putting the best athletes on defense.
We're going into the season that we want to have the opportunity to fight for the national championship, finish 1, 2, or 3. That's our goal.
Under Jackie Sherrill, Pitt not only dominated Eastern football, but he was in contention for the national title every year. His final 3 years, 33-3, 3 consecutive 11-1 years, 3 consecutive top 10 finishes. Pitt went a combined 5-1 against Penn State and West Virginia during that time.
One time he and I were talking about this idea of coaching geniuses, and he just laughed. He said, there aren't any geniuses in coaching. He said, the biggest thing you try to do as a coach is to have better players than the other team.
You know, players win, coaches don't. And when you have players that can win, you let them.
You know, a hallmark of great coaches is putting faith in your players and literally putting the ball in their hands to make plays and win games.
They were going to play until the whistle blew. And I remember in the Sugar Bowl when they were scrolling down, giving the credits and everything else, the game's over with, 34 seconds left on the clock, and we win the game.
Could be the last play for him. Marino goes deep. Brown, touchdown! John Brown makes a great catch!
And the result was one of the greatest endings to a bowl game ever. Not just Pitt, but ever.
After Jackie Sherrill left Pitt, he kept in touch with a lot of people at Pitt and in Pittsburgh. He had a lot of good friends here. And I just think this is a terrific honor for him to be enshrined in the Pitt Athletics Hall of Fame. He's very much deserving of it.
Over to Matt Bailey. Bailey fighting for it, able to win it from Quinton, sends it into the box, over to Jackson, who scores!
And welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script. Kevin Wheeler inside Pitt Studios here with a couple of men's soccer players, Arturo Ordonez and Berton Jacquesson. I got the names right, I think. We'll see if we can keep going with this. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here today. Obviously, the fall season was something to be remembered, right? So, Arturo, I kind of want to start with you first. You were here in 2019, and it was a great year for this program. This past year in the fall, you kind of took it to new heights. What's it been like for you on this team getting this program to new places?
I think for me it was, since I got here, a learning experience. We came in first fall season, we improved a lot our results, and then we learned from that. And I think then we had a learning experience during all the spring, and then we came back after all the COVID situation, learned a lot as a group, incorporating new players like Bertang. And I think we learn a lot together. We have really good games, and I think this spring season is going to be a really good one for us.
So Arturo was on the All-ACC freshman team his first year. You're a true freshman. Did he give you any advice on how to mesh with this system as a freshman starting in the ACC?
All the games are really good. I think the level is very good of the ACC. But I think I did well in the fall season. It was okay. Some guys like Arturo, the Bryces, and Walty helped me a lot to be really in the team and try to put my stamp on some games. And it was good in some games. And I think we did well, like Arturo said, on the fall season. And it can be better because we didn't win the title. That's what we are here for. So yeah, I think we can improve this, and let's chase more games, more wins, and maybe we are gonna be good in the ACC.
For Shuttler, he's gonna be tested again with another corner, and Pitt will get the header in the back of the net, make it 3 straight here at Klockner for the Panthers and the second-ranked team in the country, on the strength of a header from Arturo Ordonez.
So you guys had the #1 scoring offense through the fall. Okay, so I know there weren't a ton of teams that played, but you're averaging almost 3 goals a game by the end of the year. And I know, Arturo, you don't play on the front end, on the attacking end too much, but you start that attack. So how does that happen? What is unique about your system where you can basically look all around the pitch and any guy can score? I mean, you score on set pieces too.
I think our mentality in the team is always to be the team who dominates the game, have the ball, attack, press high. So we want to be that team who wants to score goals, to play a good brand soccer. So I think that's a key point, and we all buy in that type of soccer. I think coaches made a great recruitment process, recruiting people like Bertin, Jasper, people like fast. And then I think we all have that mentality to go to the attack and press high and try to score as many goals as we can.
You've proven that you can belong, is basically the point here, right? Like, you guys have proven that, and you can hang with the big guys. So moving forward into the spring here, where do you think you can end up by the end of April? Can you get to the NCAA tournament? If you get there, what can you do once you're there?
Obviously, for us, this spring season, our challenge is try to win this tournament. We want to be a winning team. We are really excited to see where we can get in that tournament, how far we can get. And obviously, every one of us in the team has the objective of winning this tournament, because we knew coming to the championship game of ACC in the fall season, we could win this game. We learned a lot from this game, and now we feel more prepared for this NCAA and this spring season.
Yeah, we went to the final, and yeah, we learned a lot. And right now we are playing a tournament. Maybe we want to play this NCAA tournament, and if we are in, for sure it's to win the tournament.
Well, thanks guys for joining us here today, and thanks to all of you for watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
Muchas gracias a todos por ver Pitt Beyond the Screen.
Merci à vous tous d'avoir regardé Pitt Beyond the Script. See you next time.
Right now it is Noel, and Pitt